Sick Harrison Price from the historic Wall Center, and a seminal day for Vancouver Whitecaps FC. We are delighted to be joined by co-owner Mr. Jeff Mallet. Welcome him back to Sick Harrison Price. Been a long time. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you guys?
Well, not as good as you are. Give me your thoughts, impressions of how this morning went.
The 10-year-old Jeff, who I like to start with, fan and playing in West Vancouver, is ecstatic. And to go old school with this touch of gray is, I'm hoping it's out. I hope it is Alan Ball-like. And
there you go.
Yeah, right. Adding to the mix of a good squad. But I'm ecstatic for everybody in the follows the Whitecaps and the city at large. We put a big spotlight on everything. And I think Thomas, the main point for everyone is Thomas Müller picked us, the Whitecaps, the city of Vancouver, to come and play here. And that's a testament to everybody who's in and around the football club.
And you bring up Alan Ball, and there's been other big names, particularly in the NASL days, global names, I would say.
Yeah.
But I mean, none of those guys, with all due respect to them, can touch what Thomas Müller is. This is a global brand. I was joking with Wayne Williams there of the Squamish Nation. He was just talking with Chris Martin the other day. He had a meet and greet. I was like, I think this guy's bigger than Chris Martin. We're talking that kind of level of star. It's a pretty pinch yourself kind of moment, isn't it?
It is a pinch yourself kind of moment. And, everyone's asking, how did it come about? And, FC Cincinnati and LAFC. And first of all, Thomas could have played pretty well anywhere. He could have gone to Saudi Arabian League if he wanted to make the Ronaldo big buck. I mean, he's so many options, 100 options. And it really came back to three things: football, 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 literally that. And you read about it and people have seen it. But Axel, obviously, Schuster had a great in with his experience and coming from the Bundesliga, everything huge, can't underestimate that. But also the closing was Jesper was our closer. And, fantastic. And Jesper's job was don't sell, just tell them football. And those guys, I was in an hour and a half before today's press conference, an hour and a half with Thomas and Jesper and a couple other people. They're talking formations. They're talking dropping back when the press comes on. Houston, there was a game reference. I won't take, but it was reference of a huge match in Europe that Thomas played in this time last year. People can look it up. I don't want to say what he said. And then massive. And he said, I care about Houston, 6:00 BC Place. So
he is playing Sunday, Jeff. So we can confirm that he is playing on Sunday.
He's putting himself out there to make a selection. It comes down to he respects the coach. It's up to Jesper and our trainers, but he's doing all the right things to get himself ready.
It looks like.
Yeah. Okay, so Jeff, take me back to Genesis for you. When is the first time you heard his name in a Whitecaps context, and what was your first initial reaction to it?
It was a while ago, meaning a month and a half ago, and everyone knew that he was going to let us. He was going to be on a free transfer. He was going to make himself available. Bayern made their final decision of not extending, so like Modric and some of the others got extended in the past. But anyways, so we knew he was available. And then Axel, because of his connections I just referenced, just put a feeler out there. And this is how shoulders back we are proud of the club, that we can make those calls. We're respected in the football community. The Champions Cup run was massively influential. No question about it. Also on Pedro Vite going to Pumas. So the continued better performance, higher level performance was a key factor. So month and a half ago, Axel put a feeler out. Greg Kerfoot and myself said, okay, great. Let's feel. And they anticipate we didn't expect that he would do it. But at the end of it, after talks and everything, Thomas Müller wanted to come and play for Vancouver. Once he said that, things moved extremely quickly. Then we had to do our MLS stuff in the background of FC Cincinnati, and everyone thinks LA automatically gets players because it's LA. And Thomas says, "I like your chances of winning better." So this is a really good day.
So you think also the success in the MLS regular season helped draw him here as well, Jeff?
Absolutely, no question. If we were a Midland club, still kind of where we were 3, 4, 5 years ago, nope. I honestly don't believe he's here. He followed us last year. He saw where we were. All his advisors put us on. They put us on the map. It's pretty easy to do. Like look where we are in the standings. Look at the Champions Cup run, and he had Fonzie, chirping in his ear in a good way. Like, hey, that's my club, right? That's where it came from, and so that combination led him to say, yeah, they can do it. And once he got on with Jesper, closed. Right, a little bit of money thing we had to work on, but that was actually relatively easy after the footballing part was taken care of.
You never landed a fish like this. Have you ever thrown the lure in the water close to a fish this size? Like, yeah.
Yep, we had one full scale quiet. See, you guys didn't know, but we really did, and I would say we were relatively close. That player decided to stay in Europe. You can insert the good guess along those lines. So we did go through the Quinn Thompson, our whole staff in the back room. We have not just the beautiful slides of Bobby Lenarduzzi in 1979 and all that sort of stuff. We have really good, thoughtful analytics, et cetera. So we had a really legitimate deep run. It was a great test case.
Good education. Yeah.
Great education. Yeah. And Greg and I, Kerfoot, are getting comfortable with the numbers. Like, okay, what is it really going to take? How do we manage it on today's payroll? How do we do it in the next year? So.
And it begets the next one too. And the next one won't be Thomas Müller size, I wouldn't guess. But and you guys are in the market for a couple more players here before the window closes. I would guess that this also just helps to chum the water for the next one, to stay with my fishing references here.
Yeah, no question. I mean, we need center backs, and with Sam Atakupi going down, and Ranko, of course. So no question, the spotlight works on all fronts: economically, fan base, TV, Apple. The season pass people at Apple are like, what? And one of the senior executives there is the world's biggest Bayern Munich fan. So he's like, Thomas, Vancouver? And I'm like, yes. So.
First of all, who was that guy you threw the lure out for? Spill tea.
You probably, someone's already sent it in to you guys already. Okay. It's too easy, right. But I don't.
We'll check the chat. We'll check the chat.
I'm sure the answer's there.
Because you and Greg had always been upfront with us on the media side, Jeff, that you weren't going to go fishing in this pond, if I can continue his reference, unless the guy wanted to be here. He could have a positive effect on the proceedings on the pitch and at the gate. So my question is about the third part of this. What do you think Thomas Müller represents in terms of gate attendance, the economics side of
I like his answer. Like I heard in the conference today, it's like, I don't know. Let's see how it works on the field and off the field. But I can tell you the initial reaction by our fans have been fantastic. It's we'll sell out the lower bowl, packed in there. You guys know our attendance; it's published out there. So we're 19, 20-ish, right? And we will be 26 plus-ish, And that's a Houston game. Nothing against Houston, but on a Sunday night. So there's an immediate. It's very tactical, but there's an immediate impact. I can tell you from the broadcasting side, Blake, on the season's pass on MLS season pass. All of a sudden they're looking at our schedule again, and maybe there's a Sunday night, like we're on everybody's radar. So we factored that in, but that wasn't the decisive factor. We believe that winning, entertaining, quality football, 3 trophies still available the last time when I woke up this morning for us to go chase. And that's what I think will do as Axel says, a sustainable long-term. And we're 6 years in from reinventing ourselves or improving ourselves or taking that thing and bringing Axel in. And we are middle of the road. So hopefully this will be just another big step forward. But economically, I do expect it's our number one day in merch, right? You've heard that, right? It's just, we've never had that to this level ever. So
the anecdotal evidence is overwhelming. People saying, "Oh, I'm going to buy a jersey for the first time." It's the pinch me sort of stuff.
The number of friends I've had reach out saying, like, are you going to the match? And what's this? I can't believe this. I'm going to a Whitecaps match. You know, when's he going to play has been incredible, Jeff. Like, over the last couple of weeks, my phone is just buzzing with people who, you know, some of whom are European football fans, right? Or like, oh, okay, MLS, who are all in and want to see this guy at BC Place.
So sorry to cut you off, Blake, but I still getting goosebumps because it made me think of it. Made me a Champions Cup, Inter Miami, Messi here in our building, packed. This time he played packed. Yep. And then the thing that really caught my attention was we saw some pink kits, and we saw the Barca. Anyways, we saw his past. But I heard a lot of boos on the ball when he got on the ball. When it started getting to the 68th, 70th minute, 72nd minute, people were like, "Let's win!" So it kind of got it in that sort of sphere. And I feel Thomas bringing Messi's Messi, so I'm not comparing here, but you know that level of Matt. Same thing. My phone, same thing. Biggest I've ever seen it in 18 years of doing this.
1920 has been you sort of, as you say, where you percolate at. But I think that proved that there's at least 27. Like selling out the lower bowl now for the duration of this year and next year, I think is a reasonable expectation here, given the excitement that we've seen. Let me ask you this, and we're going to get into ownership a little bit here, but are you a little more excited to be the Whitecaps owner right now than you were a few weeks back?
Well, you and Greg still want to sell this thing? What's up?
First of all, to really put a real clear vision on it. We're around too. We're not, myself probably Steve Nash will probably stay in. Like we're offering our service again. We just know to go to MLS 3.0, right? Using Commissioner Garber speak for a second, which is spot on, which is really true. Careful what you ask for, careful what you build, because the Joneses it keeps getting bigger. Mm-hmm. So we know without question, medium to long term. Hey, look, when I partnered up with Greg Kerfoot and Nash and Steve Lusso in 2008, I have an email that says, hey, we're close to getting our stadium. At 2008. Okay. So we remain super focused on that. But look, I don't care if it sounds cliche, because I'm a fan since I was in West Vancouver playing soccer. You've heard the story a million times. It's true. This is my club, right? Greg's in Vancouver. There's no bigger Vancouver cheerleader than Greg Kerfoot, period, in soccer. So I have been this excited before. It's now just a little bit more fun because more people are excited, right? And at the end of the day, I hope this translates into a new stadium opportunity and to really be able to set ourselves up for MLS 3.0. We're currently doing well under the old regime. We need to step up.
Is it fair to say then that there's not a lot? I mean, I've sold houses before, sort of my biggest investment, and I know that you want to capitalize on momentum. So if there's a nibble, if there's somebody that's knocking on the door, I'm sure you still have to go through the hoops there and see it to fruition. But is it safe to say that if something were to fall through with whoever might be interested right now, like is there urgency in the sale, or does this sort of re-inject life into Greg? If you and Steve are interested in staying on and all that, that's great. But Greg's got the controlling. Is he, is it urgent for him, or does this put some life on it?
I think, well, I'm not speaking for Greg, but he doesn't speak for himself, but I'll speak for him a little bit.
That's your job.
I know it is. I get my $1. I don't even get my $1. I want a Thomas Müller jersey.
You should bill him.
Greg, the same thing goes for Greg behind the scenes. Never been more engaged than ever. He's working with the premier. He's working with the mayor. All of that, folks, to really go. He's disproportionately focused on the stadium. He has a real estate background. He has real estate holdings here. Continues to have. He's not going anywhere, and so he has. Yes, Blake, he has urgency. He wants this to happen. But we've had urgency since 2008. But if we can't get it over the hump this time, I don't know what it is, right? So let
me ask this, Jeff, because I was talking to a Politico a couple of weeks ago who's quite familiar with governance in this city and in this province, who said, it's going to be a very difficult sell to direct any public funds to stadium construction. And you can tell me whether that is sought by you and Greg and the ownership group. But he thought, and we've seen this modeled in the CFL and in the NHL, that if there is a new stadium at the PNE, it's going to have to be some sort of real estate or development play. Do you see it that way?
Would say that, I come from the San Francisco Giants, and we own and control our own stadium. We own and control our 27-acre adjacent plan. That is really the economic engine that allows a Major League Baseball team to continue to go at the highest level. The base operations of an MLB team, you can't make ends meet without having the real estate component in there, right? So there's no different in any other major sport, including Major League Soccer. We've got to that level. So as it pertains to a stadium and people, everybody's been super cooperative. I don't honestly, if this was a time to sort of say, hey, come on, everybody is trying. I really truly believe that, from the city, from the province, et cetera, council people, et cetera. So there is a genuine interest for everybody. The challenge is getting a piece of paper signed. Right? It's like business, any type of business. So our job is to do it. We know we'd have to finance it. So we're not holding out or asking for anything, right? It's the same proposition as 2008. We will fund it. We will get it going. And our job is, we believe what the vision we hear about the PNE, let's just talk about it, the race course, what people have read, listened to on this stuff, it's real. And we believe the Vancouver Whitecaps, done right in a stadium out there with some economics tied to it, Matt, to your point, yes, we see retail, the real estate, yes, is the answer on that one. We think we can be a foundation to that vision of what people are talking about for the next 20, 25 years. And so we want to take that asset and put it down there for the next gen.
Right. So playing this out even further, Jeff, no existing public revenues, no new taxes, but a land gift, the ability to build the stadium on the PNE site. Is that how you see it going?
I didn't even want to use the gift word as such, but for us to be the primary tenant and primary developer of, at minimum, 12 acres of a football specific, soccer specific stadium that the city can be proud of, the city deserves, the city has earned, start with that. And if that was a signable piece of paper that was investable, then we're good. And once again, I'm not picking on anyone. People are going towards that. Everybody's trying to get towards that, but we need to move faster.
That's great detail, Jeff.
How helpful are other recent deals? I was just reading about the new Aloha Stadium in Honolulu. Like, these are non-SoFi Stadium level stuff. It's 22,000 seats there. Detroit, for a USL team, he's building a 15,000 seat stadium now, and it's gorgeous as well. Are these sort of helpful templates for you guys to bring to the relevant parties?
No question. MLS Next Pro, even right in there. There's been some teams in our own Division II league that are building beautiful little stadiums, and yes, there's no question the prices are leaving steel prices and tariffs. I'm not touching that on this call today, but the ability to build more efficiently and effectively to build a stadium has come a long way in this last decade. So that's one of the super positives. We're just down in Austin, as you know. That's where we had our all-star game and board meeting for Major League Soccer. We've been there before. We got a full tour, how they cost it out. So we have so many great examples out there of current, and then what they're doing in New York City. I mean, what is going to be built up by Citi Field, by NYFC, FC, unbelievable. And, and what Chicago and what Joe is building out in Chicago, $900 million US showcase. So we have enough examples. We need to build our own.
I want to get back to you. We're around comment. So if you get the green light on this stadium project, Jeff, would you and Greg want to stay on as majority owners? At that point, are you just looking for an investor or a minority partner, or when you say we're around, you want to be, you're willing to be minority partners to the next person?
we believe it's the right time, especially for our two leads, as you call out, Greg Kerfoot and Steve Lusso. They have different plans, different time of thing. They don't need to be the big guys anymore, right? So ideally, we would have someone join us, right, and come in. We would take, if they want us, our good looks and charm, maybe they'll pick Nash because he's so cool and on that stuff. But we're all available. We'll all
You're better looking and more charming than Steve Nash. I will stand here and give you that.
Yeah, there we go. So we will stay on the cap table. We will take our knowledge base and transfer it. We'll take our goodwill that we have, all of those things to make it easier. If someone wants to come in and take everything and just give us a Thomas Müller jersey and a ticket to Sunday's game, we would move out of the way as well too. But but yeah, this is not a hopefully someone comes in and we run off. We said that from day one, even though because we did a different approach. We announced it. We went in December. Yep. It's like, and everyone's like, well, that's kind of because we believe in what we're building. So,
well, this is good clarity. This fleshes it out a lot more here, I think, for the Whitecaps fan, because I think they do trust you guys. I think they do believe that you want to keep it here. But this is a level of interest I think that they want to hear from you guys. So that's
well, and also they're worried in terms of if there isn't a soccer specific stadium that the team might move.
Yeah, well, that's an obvious worry. And do you understand that worry, Jeff?
Absolutely. Yeah. Again, we're not interested in that. Major League Soccer's not interested in that. But the way you framed it, I won't repeat because you framed it perfectly. I could see it being a worry because at the end of it, we're underwriting this project. And we've been underwriting it for 18 years. And at the national level as well, outside of our Caps footprint. Plus, we did the Rise, which is we're adding to it, plus an MLS Next Pro, plus a League One BC Women, plus a League One plus an MLS Next, plus Academy. And so we can't keep underwriting this forever without a sense of a reasonable way of getting, at least to net zero.
All right. Last question here. Where are you watching the game Sunday? Who are you watching it with? And what do you think your thoughts and emotions will be when Müller takes the pitch in that Caps jersey?
I love that thing. First of all, I got goosebumps again. I'll tell you where I'll not be, nothing against it, but I will not be up in our so-called owner's box. By the way, we give ourselves the worst suite in the stadium at BC Place, so it's unbelievable. I will be sitting with my daughter, a great footy player in her day, runs her own Pilates studio here now in the city. Her husband, just kind of people, and just about 10 rows up and 100% focused, but I want to be close enough to it. I like to feel the fans, right? I truly do. I do this at the Giants. I think Blake knows this, but it's like, I love that. So I won't tell you my section, but I'll be down with my daughter, blinders on, and I will be 10-year-old Jeff.
Amazing stuff. Quite a day for Vancouver Whitecaps FC, and more of them to come, including Sunday at BC Place when Müller makes his debut against Houston. Jeff, thanks for the time. Great catching up.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.